Lindau is a small city with 25,000 inhabitants in the Lake of Constance. We are developing different mobility plans, and since 2015 we start the planning of our SUMP. The SUMP was a measurement from our climate protection concept that the city developed in 2012, and after 3 years the city government decided to build this new mobility department where I have been working since 2015, and since then we have been working in the whole process of our SUMP. The main ground for starting up SUMP was the climate protection concept. During the planning of this climate protection concept, the city noticed that we have like 40% of all the emissions coming from the transport. So the most important measurement was to develop a mobility concept and implement different measurements to diminish this polluting transportation. Normal in Germany there is like a tradition to develop a Verkehrsentwicklungsplan. It's like a transport developing plan, and for us was the focus, because of this climate protections concept, more in a sustainable mobility. So that is the main ground for us to start in this SUMP process. The SUMP in Lindau has a overweighted meaning, so we call it CLIMO, climate friendly mobility concept in Lindau. So it's actually also a marketing gadget for us, because since the beginning of the process we were trying to engage more people, so they got like the word climate with CLIMO, and the comparison of CLIMO and the development of the words is this mobility or a climate friendly mobility concept for the city. So for us the light build was to reach and make more accessibility in the whole city. We wanted to have traffic safety as a main objective, and also we want an environmental quality. So the thing was like decreasing the transport emissions, and another part of our light build is the point that we want eco-mobility. That is the mean that we want to embrace more pedestrians, more cyclists and public transport in the city, and at the same time we want to improve the multimodality in the city. That is in the way that you make the connection between cycling, public transport and also private transport by car. As a small city, I will actually appreciate when, for example, from the local government or from the regional government, a little bit more of support comes. Normally, the cities doesn't know what is about a SUMP. In Germany, the cities are just used to develop this transport development plan, and the new trend of more sustainability and urban mobility should come at once. And it's better if there is like a light build and some financial support from the local or German government for the cities to know how to do it and when to do it. Actually, it's also difficult for small cities to have the manpower to develop such a plan, because in a small city there are just some traffic planners, maybe one for the whole city, and no one is on charge from the conceptualization. So the support could be also a regional level or a whole country level, a planner that focus on helping the cities to develop such a SUMP. For the development of the CLIMO concept, we tried to attract most of the people in Lindau to bring their minds, so the public participation was like the core of the whole process. The process took almost 2 years, and it was because this intensive public participation process that we established. Every time that we discuss something with the local councillor, we previously discussed it with the normal people from the city, and it was really time demanding for us from the city hall, but at the end it was worth it because the concept took almost every idea that the people brought us, and at the end the acceptance was actually the best for the concept. Right now, during the implementation, we noticed that the people already knew what was about going on with the new measurements, and they are actually happy when they see some of the advices that they brought being realized or implemented. Our participation in the European Mobility Week is actually one of the measurements coming from our SUMP. For us was really important not just building some infrastructure, but also having some awareness raising measurements. And there are some campaigns that are already established in Europe, like the European Mobility Week. So we started in 2017 with our first participation. We through some pilot projects that we wanted to test, and also we implemented like the parking day, auto free day, and different measurements during the whole week. And it was actually a really nice experience because we noticed how the people react with the different planning ideas that we want to implement at one point. One of the measurements was, for example, this parking day. We have a historical plaza, the Paradiesplatz, or a Paradis place, that is actually surrounded from local distributors that we actually engaged to participate. They saw the opportunity to expand the shop area, so they got from the city hall these parking places in front of the shop as an extra area for selling, and they help us giving some life to the plaza. We actually took the plaza for 1 week, and the acceptance from the people that live in these surroundings was really good. Kids playing on the streets, and the shops were also happy with the whole thematic. So for the city of Lindau, it's a great recognition being nominated for the second time, and it's actually really meaningful to see that even if we are in a competition between too many cities in whole Europe, we get to be one of the 3 finalists, and at the end it makes us proud, and it gave us like a little bit more support trying to convince our local politician and the people in Lindau to see that sustainable mobility can be lived and implemented in, doesn't matter how big is the city. One of the most important measurements was the implementation of these bike and ride stations. We call it Climo stations, and the main focus was to provide a connection between cycling and public transport. So at the end of all bus stations in the city, we built these Climo stations, and it's one of the measurements that I am proud that we could implement it in a short time, and it's actually working since last year. This measure was actually one of our main measures with the focus of multimodality. It was actually the main point of the last European Mobility Week. So that allows us also to participate and being a strong participant for this award. Another important project that we are trying to implement the next years is the implementation of a parking and shift shuttle. It's like the normal park and ride shuttle system that everybody knows, but the thing is that we want to cover all the transport that is going between the city with a parking place on the surrounding area near to the autobahn, and then collecting all the tourists that are coming to Lindau and transporting them with a solar shift to the island. The main point is that we will be strong in multimodality, we will have in climate protection, and we will be avoiding a lot of traffic in the city. That is the main problem that we noticed during the whole conception of our sump. For the financial of this whole concept, we are hoping and waiting that some support from the Ministry of Environmental Affairs comes for the city. So it's actually a lot of infrastructure, and the main point is buying these 3 solar boats that are going to transport at least 50 to 60 persons every 20 minutes. So it is like a big investment for a small city like Lindau. So hopefully in 2 years people can come and visit, park in the surroundings close to a green area, start their vacation between a boat trip and visit our old city center and main island. I am actually really proud that the measures that have been planned in our department could be bring to life like in a short time, because normally when you are like a planner in a city, you can make some concepts and nice projects, but they just stay for the future, and it could be like you could never see them implemented. But for us in a small city, we have like this great opportunity to see our projects being implemented and actually working as you planned it. So that is one of the things that I am proud, and we are also proud that in a short time we could activate really a lot of people to be convinced about sustainable mobility. My main message will be that every city could do something for the climate. So small cities can also implement climate protection, not only big cities. The thing that a mobility department, a construction department try to do something more sustainable is actually something that every city should be trying in nowadays, and not only the cities, also the citizens should think a little bit more about the future and how they want to live this world for their childs or their childs. So climate protection gets in all direction, could be on the building direction, in the mobility direction, in agriculture. So the main point is to do something, and everybody can do something. So just do it.